side, I'm the hunter of deals. I'm the master of the buy. With my wisdom and experience, I'm setting the pace, turning yard sale, junk into gold and in the rain.
Oh dear God, save me.
I couldn't hear that. I couldn't hear that thing playing. I just stopped.
Yeah, it was playing.
Yeah.
Oh well, y'all only get part of it.
I saw the title of the show. This one sounds fun to me.
All right, let's see. Where's the audio set to go out here? It's set to go out on.
Well, it worked on my end, so I'm assuming that.
All right, let's practice to see if I can hear this.
I heard it.
I heard that one. Yeah. All right, good morning.
You got her.
It's gonna be a bad day when all you see is lag to start. JT, what's up? Flip it good. Glenn, Miss Chastity, good morning. Couldn't come up with a title, so I'm like, you know what? How about conspiracy theories?
Are there any? I'm sure there are.
Oh, there's all kinds of theories about why sales happen and why they don't happen on various platforms. Dang. I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
Use that properly.
What the hell?
That's against. I think that's against my religion. Yeah. So I lost my whole train of thought. What the hell? So is anything exciting going on? Is anybody ready for the summer slowdown yet? That's another one.
I'm ready for the summer pickup, actually, to be honest with you.
Yes, sales were going good. And then yesterday, whatever conspiracy theory you want to think of, eBay said, hey, they said, no fucking way. They said, you are, I didn't even look this. It was like 14 hours without a sale whenever. Yeah,
that's normal for me.
Hey, that 14 hours is now pushed to 20. Yeah.
I don't get it. My sales have been good the last couple for my size store. For me, been pretty good. I just had a sale just before we came in, but I don't know. The week prior to that, or the couple weeks prior to that, I had nothing. I was listing every day.
Yeah, so I get
selling, but not very much, you know.
So here's the first one. So what did I get yesterday? I got a Vero yesterday, and then my sales disappeared.
Boy.
That is a great conspiracy. Something that's been listed for, I don't know, 18 months. It's some kind of little oil bottle, little oil of some sort that I picked up in a lot somewhere. And this is the part with eBay. I mean, eBay does a lot of things right, and I'm not here to completely blame eBay, but Amazon does this same thing, which is absolutely infuriating. And if you treated them like this, they would absolutely destroy you. You know, that's counterfeit. There's no test buy. There's no anything. They just allow people to claim counterfeit. You know, that's like me looking at Steve's hat and go, you know, hey, Steve, that hat's counterfeit. What are you wearing that thing for?
Champion.
You know, that'd be like, Todd, that Diet Coke on your desk. I don't know why you always have one. You know, it's probably Diet Thunder or something.
Yeah, it's fake.
You have.
It's probably the same can that's been sitting there. He just doesn't drink it.
You do not have the ability to look at. I mean, okay, some things are so bad you can tell, but the vast majority of items, especially Amazon's even worse because there's no picture, there's no anything. You're just allowed because you're on the listing to claim it is fake. And the platforms have no balls whatsoever. They have no anything. They are so scared. Well, Amazon, I think in the background, another conspiracy. I think every time you get a complaint like that from Amazon, I think they reach out to the, holy shit. And if you're at a flea market, I'm going to hang up on your ass.
No, I'm not at a flea market.
Why are you not? Isn't Pickens going on right now?
Because I'm on the way to Georgia, man. I gotta go pick up mom and take her to the dentist.
Wait a second here. There's only enough room for one legend on this show. Just saying.
Okay, I can
It
fix
ain't me. It ain't me.
Okay. Legend
See, that's what you get. Now you're all froze.
and is.
Oh, what are you doing? This is not
Am
going
I
to
on
be good.
froze?
There you go. That's better.
Am I froze?
You
There you
were.
go. Because I think I have a
Well,
theory. I have a
driving,
theory
so
about
if I
Amazon.
keep cutting out, Scott, just kick me out. I don't mind.
I'm gonna use that excuse. I think Amazon, every time something like that happens, I think they reach out to the brand and try to be a representative of the brand. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Amazon wants most sellers gone. Amazon wants to be a distributor for these brands, and anybody who seems like they are unhappy with listings that are on Amazon, I think they reach out and go, we can give you a better deal. I could be wrong, but I think they do.
I do know that they don't want people like me and you on there anymore.
So yeah, Phil, there was no. It said you can appeal it, but I mean, how much satisfaction do I get by saying, this company's out of their damn mind? It's sitting in my building here. How do they know what's counterfeit and what's not? Because it was part of a bulk buy. I don't have an individual itemized. Why is it up to me? Why do I have to defend myself when I'm not the accuser? I live in the United States of America, you comrades. I'm not guilty until proven innocent. This is what you for any of you who are Canadian, whatever. I feel sorry for you, but not really. It's Canada is bad, but you were in this country. You were innocent until they have to prove you guilty. Except when it comes to business and other things, they go. These Karens whine and cry until they go. But it would be too hard for us to chase down individual cases, so we should just be able to tell you, and you should say okay. Man, fuck you. That doesn't work anywhere except for online sales. Odie, I put that commercial in your feed only because you didn't answer the phone. You sent me the voicemail yesterday. When I was setting up the program, and I'm like, put commercials in Odie's feed because he didn't answer the phone. True story.
So, hey, I got a question for you. I got a notification from eBay yesterday saying I got hit with a label adjustment for a USPS package. It was a piece of clothing. The weight was right, but they're saying the dimensions, it went in a bag, and my dimensions on the bag was 12 by 12 by 1. And they're saying it was 12 by 12 by 4. Since when do we put that last number for a bag? Because even on pirate ship, you can't even put that last number in when you choose it in the bag.
Did you use Pirate Ship?
No, I used the eBay label system.
eBay doesn't have the option to. I don't know if there's a separate classification for the bag. eBay
Right,
doesn't have that.
Right, there's not. So you got to put that last dimension in, which is 1. And so USPS is saying it was 3. And I don't understand. Are they measuring thickness of bags now?
Yeah, if it's mailed that way, I'm guessing. Mailed with three measurements.
I always put
because they don't have them. I always do. Yeah.
I always measure it.
So you don't use the 1 measurement for a bag.
I do if I'm on Pirate Ship, but lately
Pirate
I've not
Ship.
been using Pirate Ship.
There's not much difference there.
I got
Is there-
USPS adjustments for using the wrong service. I'm like, I used the one that eBay gave me. What the hell?
Yeah.
The wrong service selected.
But you got to realize you need to build some of this stuff and at least ask questions, because just think about this: what do teachers and postal employees have in common? when you talk to them, they're some of the most brandy people you've ever met. Every person I was in school, and I thought, man, they are lucky to be here. When I'm at the great University of Alabama, they go, oh, I'm an education major. No shit. And same thing with
So I do.
my post office is
So let
different.
me ask you this: I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people use pirate ship with eBay. Is there a way to connect? Is there a way to connect pirate ship to eBay where the funds come out of eBay funds and not your account?
No,
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
no, and yeah, it's crazy. So like writing the post office is having all kinds of trouble. I have a package. Jennifer's got a couple that are trying to make it through Atlanta. If you were do yourself a favor, and there needs to be a these big sort centers need to post an average time to go through there, because if you're sending anything to Indianapolis, or if you're sending anything to Georgia that's going to go through Atlanta, you got to add 3 weeks, because I'm not lying. You think I'm lying? I'm not lying. Ask the chat. Anybody else had any problems with Atlanta and Indianapolis? So I've got a package that was sent on March 24th, and it left Birmingham on March 26th on the way to Atlanta. Crickets.
I have one that's still
Crickets.
stuck in processing somewhere. It went. Where did it go? Let me look. I had put in a claim for it because it went to New York State, went to New York City, and it's stuck in New York City since February 25th.
So here we go. Mike says Atlanta's been like that for 2 years. Chassis says Indy took 2 weeks. I'm not lying. They're a legend in your own mind.
No. I sent a poster to Noonan, Georgia. Of course, Noonan, Georgia is right outside of Atlanta, and that's what I'm saying. I agree with you because it took a month for them to get that poster. It took
And
about 4 weeks for them to get that poster.
so now it's slowed me down a little bit on my shipping, but I will pick UPS and pay the extra if it's going to either one of those locations because of how long it takes. Um, the Blu-ray, the one that I've got stuck now is a Blu-ray, and I went so fast. I'm like Blu-ray because I didn't think about it. So there's Primo Chemo Atlanta 3 weeks stuck. Um, yeah. So I was told by my postmaster. She said that's weird. It shows on our tracking that it stopped somewhere on the way to Atlanta, but it's on its way to Atlanta. She said if it doesn't come by, she said I'd file a case on Monday. So and then yesterday I had a case open and a Vero. So between those two is probably why they took my sales away. That's the conspiracy. And the case was
Do you think they do that?
I just wanted to know. I was just wondering if you knew anything about it or could do anything about it because it's not here yet. Well, why would you not just send me a message? Why does that require a case? eBay,
I know, I had it too.
you can fix something by not allowing these people to do some of this stupid shit without hitting message seller.
I had this lady wait a month for her. It's a backgammon game. It's going to New York City. So it's a big package, And I mailed it on the 25th from Ohio. It went through Cleveland right straight to New York City, according to the tracking. And it's been sitting there since March 8th. Well, she opened a claim. I had to give her her money back because I know it's not going to move because she waited a whole month for that thing before she opened the claim.
Oh, we got a new. I talked up sales. We have an offer now.
Now, there you go. Now, I've opened the claim about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and they're still reviewing the claim. It's stuck in New York City, and it has been there since the 8th, according to
New York City.
Yeah.
Get
So,
a rope.
New York Distribution Center. That's where that backgammon game is, and it's been there since since March 4th, really.
I have an offer, and I will take the offer. I don't like taking offers until I know where the item is, and I can't remember. I can't remember seeing this lately.
I've had pretty good luck filing claims with the USPS, but this one has taken forever. It's usually a lot quicker than this.
Hey, Mark, don't you have a drone to be flying? Don't be bothering us. But it's just absolutely infuriating with dealing with the post office. And you would think this is the time they would catch up because their volume is down significantly due to the fact that they don't have to carry UPS packages the last mile. You would think that takes some pressure off these centers and they could get them straightened out.
Nope.
And if you look at and everybody goes, I can't believe they're cutting postal employees.
Probably.
The problem is they've added so many employees, but they've all been mid-level management, and we can see how. Why do companies, as they mature, do that? Instead of putting people in place that can take care of products and deliver the service, they add layers and layers of management. That's never made any sense to me. And does that make the upper people feel better if they've got 10 people to blame and nobody doing the work? It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, it happens everywhere. Look at the Department of Education, for God's sakes. The more money we spend on these people, look at how many dollars actually goes to students versus how many goes to administrators. And the amount of administrators that has increased over the last 20, 25 years, and the spending on them versus little to no spending increases on actual services to children, and then go, no wonder they're getting dumber by the minute. You know, they paid somebody crazy amounts of money to come up with what was that kind of math that they were trying to make them learn how to do math again? What did they call that?
Common Core.
Common Core, the Ebonics of math, Common Core. It's
They're just now
Is
understanding.
that new math that y'all talking about?
Well, it's not anymore. They've stopped teaching it now because they've noticed that it was not a good idea. Finally.
Fine.
yeah. Julie said her son teaches 7th grade. The entire system is wrecked. But that's the big one that's affecting me now is reselling is, and I've gotten back to listing. That's what changed, Kent. It's not math, it's math. They changed it to math and everything went to hell, just like that. Man, I like looking out your window. I watch so many car crash videos, 2 or 3 a day, that I can look and tell from where the around the car where they're at. And you know, the East Coast, especially living in Georgia and North Carolina, looks a lot the same. The same tree patterns, the same.
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina right now. I got to stop down here at this post office because post offices around here, for some reason, decided that they just don't want to open till 9 o'clock every morning. So it's not like you can get out early and go do your stuff and drop off at the post office. Get your stuff done today. So I got
Man, don't get me started.
to drop my postage off.
Don't get me started. So my post office opens at 8:30, which is weird. But if you go down there right now at 8:30, the parking lot is full of trucks and everything. There's not a park unless you park in the handicap. That's the only parking space that might be open. Between employee cars and the postal trucks, they take up every single parking, and it takes them. They're loaded trucks and stuff. So if you go before 9:30 or 10, you are not getting it. Who knows where you're going to park?
That's ridiculous.
And then they at 11 o'clock they close for an hour and a half for lunch.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ours is open from 9 to 5.
And then for the day they close at 4 o'clock.
There you go. Yep.
So they are only
You would
open
think
from 8:30 to 4. Realistically, you can only get in there from 10 to 4, and they are closed from that from 11 to 12:30. So if you look at it, you've got from 10 to 11, you got an hour. You've got 5.5 hours of service at that one location. Don't get me
It
wrong.
must be.
I love those guys. They're great people, but that's what they're told to do.
It must be up to the individual postmaster or something, because you would think it would be a standardized thing when they're open, closed, that kind of thing.
Oh no, Saturday, Jabus. No. On Saturday, we're not open 1 hour. We're open 2, from 9:30 to 11:30. Make this make sense.
They make the employees come. No, they don't make the employees come in for 2 hours. They still have to be there the whole day. At least here they do. We're open 4
Ours is
hours
closed
on
on Saturday.
Okay, so
Saturday.
this post
We got
office,
4 hours, noon.
this post office is so small it has one of them little metal bins, and if I pass gas when I open it, I fill it up. So dropping off is not. I mean, we don't have a kiosk. Kent goes, just put it in the kiosk, and then I have to go, Kent. This is what you get. I'm on the phone with you, but you can see this middle finger, right?
I'd like to have a kiosk, but we don't have one. That's for sure.
They do have Saturn parking. They do have special Saturn parking. That if you're driving a Saturn, you get right up to the front. Like it goes handicap, and then Saturn, just like that. And if in the Saturn, if you blow your horn, they especially come out and get your stuff because you're so special. They don't want you to walk inside. It's just so, Jabus, those things are actually good if you've got a bigger post office. So Kent has one, and Kent can take his stuff in at 11 o'clock at night, and he gets processing scans within an hour. That there's somebody back there who's already scanned it in and is moving it along. It's crazy.
I can drop mine off anytime because they're supposed to lock the inner door and they never do. So I just open it and drop them off. But
Yeah, Kevin. There's Kent. He dropped him off last night at 11 o'clock. Yeah, we don't have any of that.
yeah, we don't. All we have is 9 to 5. Take it to the counter, or if I got big load, I can dump it on the dock in the back.
This is a bunch of freaking bull crap, man.
They're
They
not
don't
open.
open until freaking 10 o'clock.
All right, next post office down the road.
That's in Georgia, and I don't think I can send my packages through Georgia if there's the
Is it the same region or a different region?
I have no idea.
If it's the same region, you'll be all right.
That's a bunch of bull crap, man.
They
There
should
you
have
go.
known you were coming and opened early.
10 o'clock. What? You should. I told you should have gone to the post office. I mean, to the. You should have gone to Pickens, and you'd been right on time.
No, I went. Okay, so I went to 6 Mile, which is 5 minutes from my house, and they didn't open till 9 o'clock, and that was at 8:30. So then I come here, and I'm in Walhalla now, and it's 9:30, and they're saying that the door's 10 o'clock. I mean, what the? I mean,
Pickens, isn't that where the that big flea market is?
Yeah,
yes,
so I'm
sir.
telling him he should have gone to that big flea market, and
My sister lives real close to there. Me and her went.
Yeah, I live about. I can be there in probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's about the same for her. I can't
So she
remember the
lives
name
in
of the town.
Pickens.
is your
No, she lives out right near there.
hey, Steve, is your sister married to somebody named Chris?
No. Oh, that's the other sister. My sister-in-law is. Why?
Or just making sure his wife was not your sister.
No.
So Steve, I live in 6 Mile.
Okay, I'm not really that familiar. I've been there one time,
Yeah.
but
So,
we
which
might.
is right
Barry
next.
and I might.
It's right next to Pickens. So
Yeah, Barry and I might be going to that this year.
Close to
Oh,
5 Mile.
it's a
So
mile
I agree
away
with you,
from 5
Phil. American Bubble Boy and Supply Hut. They're. I use those guys 90% of the time. If you need bubble wrap, they're by far the cheapest and stupid fast. I ordered bubble wrap on Thursday, and it got here Saturday morning. I'm like, holy crap! And then Supply Hut, they are they're generally 2 days. So I need some 864 boxes, but I'll probably order on Friday. They'll be here Tuesday. Their competition, which I don't have a code for, the Boxery is just as fast. That I will use the Boxery instead of Supply Hut because Supply Hut doesn't have the big boxes. So if I need something like a 16, 12, 10 or bigger, they come from the Boxery. But you can
I've had good luck with both of them.
Supply Hut code bearded, you can save you 5%. They are generally Supply Hut's generally the cheapest anyway, and so any dollar you can save is a good deal.
I just recently looked for my what are they? The little small ones, 7x4x2s, and those things went up. Boy, they're not cheap anymore.
Can't why are you cussing in the chat? What the hell? Yeah, I just upped my stock. There's 2 barrels right there. Hey Alex, what's up, man? Good morning. Yeah, it's having a good supplier, and so yes, so the one size box I buy locally is $12.99 because I like Staples box. So Staples has that box for $3 a box, and you're thinking, oh my God, beer, why would you pay $3 a box? Staples for the last as long as I've been doing this has the deal where if you buy 5 boxes any size, it's half price, and so that makes that $1.50. And I think $1.40 is about as cheap as I could find that box. But the Staples boxes have the perforations on the inside, so if I need 12.96, it's just 4 little slices, and you fold it over, and it makes a real neat without a. Okay, so here's the other thing that I like about that. So if I need 12.94 ish, if you flip that box over and cut the big part of it out and use the perforation to keep the small part, it's very flexible. That one is, and so I like that one. I use it. Sue, you're correct. They are very nice. They're the heavier boxes, which. Um, did you get some breakfast?
Yes. They didn't have no biscuits because it's after freaking 10 o'clock or 9:30 or 9 o'clock, whatever it is.
He
So I had to
can't
get
get to
them.
the post office because it
Are
ain't
you?
open. It's too late to eat biscuits. Man, you're having a great day.
There's no way they still make biscuits at 9:30, don't they?
Apparently not, because I went in there and checked. I mean, they got a kitchen in there and there was no biscuits. They were cooking lunch already.
Where'd you start? Where'd you stop?
Bastards.
At the, I don't know, it's one of these places the Indian people own.
So there was your problem right
Gas
that was
there.
your
station.
choice.
Well, I mean, it's the only choice around here.
So Alex,
The next stop is over the mountain.
the reason why the last couple times I've used and that's a good idea, Alex. They're 666. They're cheap. The last they're so thin of boxes that I have had a couple things broken in Walmart boxes, and so instead of I'd rather pay more for the Staples box, knowing it's going to get there. That Walmart 12, whatever that size is, 11.97 is thin. When the box gets bigger, it gets so thin that it doesn't provide any protection.
Yeah, their 666s are really good.
So
I bought a lot of those.
For those you don't know, Beard King Picker Alex sells mainly books, and so if you're going to put a book in that size box, I would tell you that's a good decision. But for me, I had a coffee carafe get broken in one of those, and so I need the box that is thicker, stronger to protect because I have items that are fragile. Book. If I was a bookseller, I wouldn't matter because they'll get there. But Ping, you're 100% correct. Granger does have boxes, and they have really decent prices.
I wonder if we have a Granger nearby. I'm gonna look. Come on, there we go.
James, I found them on eBay, the 642s, because I wanted the ones. I wanted the butterfly boxes, the ones that you have to take like a origami and go, and it makes a box. It does like that.
Exactly where that's at.
And so I picked up 100 for pretty cheap. Give me just a second. I don't have any affiliate links, but
like a magic trick putting those together.
But they are so Man, when you're selling, putting small stuff in there, they are so freaking strong.
Hey, Scott, guys. Hey, been good morning. I gotta go. I'm gonna head over the mountain, so you're not gonna. I'm gonna lose service. So I will see you guys later.
Dude, I'm
Think
starting to
about
tear up.
think about
Have
what you've
fun.
done.
Have fun digesting that belly bomb you just ate.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's that honey bun, that jelly swirl honey bun.
Yeah, no,
I
thank
have
you.
so
Breakfast of champions right there.
Yes, sir.
so it's the boxery, JT. I
Chris.
bought hold on, let me get you.
Scott, you'll have to boot me out. I can't figure out how to do it from my phone. Y'all have a good one.
Later.
I'm good. I'm good
Later.
at that part. Kick speaker. Do you want to kick him? Hell yeah. So here you go. Here's the so JT, that was $56. And it was 200 boxes. 200 642s for 56 bucks. I thought that was pretty
642?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cheap.
Yeah, because I think Supply had 742s or 40 something for 100 boxes or something like that.
Yeah, that was as cheap as I could find them, and they were the origami boxes.
I'll be okay with 642s.
And I like the way they store better too. They can stand up vertical in my little. If the lag approved, JT.
Oh yeah,
so
those are nice.
that was my biggest reason for getting those lag is because smaller items I didn't want the box to. I didn't want to get lost or crushed or whatever that smaller box as they gets thrown in with everything, and so that box, knock on wood, has been. I'm in the last 40, so I've got to order them again. Um, but I haven't had anything broken in that little box, so. And it's good for deodorant. It's good for. I used 3 of them yesterday. As a matter of fact, what did I ship in them yesterday?
Yeah, Supply has the 7x4x2, the regular boxes for $35. So your 6x4x2s are definitely a better deal.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna order them today. Like what did I use those boxes for? You okay? So I had a couple of parts that went out. Which that's one of the things I've been using them for. Some of the small parts that come off some of these machines. And what else did I ship yesterday?
Just
Come on,
get good
Larry.
at resizing pizza boxes. Jeez.
Oh yeah. I had a small box of over the counter medicine that went in one. And that one has been real nice for just because I've been selling some expensive small items like that, and to know they won't get busted has been very nice. Very good if you sell parts. If you sell parts, small parts, those boxes are wonderful. All right, it's just yeah. I've never had a problem with the box where you met those guys in person. They're good people. Um, but generally Supply Hut for everything. But even with so I get an extra 5% on the box on Supply Hut, so I get 10% off. And even with the 10%, I couldn't. It was still cheaper to buy the 100 of the origami boxes, the 200 of 56.50 for 200.
They're called die cut boxes, by the way.
Man, don't do that.
Don't
I
get
don't
so
want.
technical on us, man.
And they're corrugated, not cardboard.
I like origami boxes. Everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. If I tell you guys, does anybody use die cut boxes? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I do.
If I said origami boxes, everybody goes, I don't like putting them things together.
They're so easy. That's the machine I ran when I worked at the box factory was the die cut machine.
God, that's interesting as hell.
All right, so
I know, isn't it though? I can tell you the least interesting thing in my entire life was making boxes.
okay, so we were called stupid yesterday, or our idea was called stupid yesterday. They backtracked and said that the idea was stupid. Okay, so here is a Hey, Miss Don. I'm assuming that's Miss Don. What's up, Don? So anybody? So John is a real believer in this. I think Josh maybe a little bit. You think uh, your main device, if it leaves your local area, does eBay slow down your sales, thinking you're not at home anymore?
No.
They because it seems to happen that way.
I don't see it because especially when I put myself on vacation mode, I get sales the whole time I'm gone. So why would they slow it down just for leaving? Now I get sales on weird things that hadn't sold before.
Yeah, I don't think they care. I mean, because I've traveled a lot everywhere, and but I don't really think there's much to it. But
how would
I
they
get
even
I get
know?
slower sales from vacation time, but I think it's because I put the delivery date out so far.
I don't though. That's the thing. When I put myself on vacation mode, even for 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get sales the next day.
because
Now,
like
on occasion, they don't look at, the people don't look, and then I got a refund. But
Well, I still get sales, but it goes way down.
so it's just
July was
weird.
my worst month because we were gone
huh,
2 weeks.
So it's just weird. Like Josh is having great days, and the one day he spends 5 hours in South Carolina, uh, it takes 4 days for his sales to recover from not being there for 5 hours. It's just
then you
weird
would
the
have
way
to
things.
assume that eBay has a way to track your cell phone.
That's
I can't
I
imagine.
I don't put that beyond the realm of possibility. Everything you do
Well,
is
is
tracked.
it possible? Sure. But why would they care?
They would put
How did
code.
how do they know you ain't got somebody at home shipping? You know,
They
like
don't, but I'm assuming that they would think. Remember, you're thinking about eBay, and we don't. eBay doesn't. Those people don't think like we do. They don't
no,
think we're going to run off and source something and be right back. We spend days doing things, knowing that it's on. It's just a theory. I'm not saying.
I don't. I I think that there's the world is full of coincidences, and that's one of them. That's all. It happens.
And then me, how would they know what I'm doing? Because I've got four. I've got three phones, and all three of them are logged into the same eBay
Right.
account. How would
So
which one
leave.
are they?
So if you want to defeat that, leave one logged in at home all the time, and then don't look at
And
it.
Joni
Don't
and
look at the
Joni
other
has
phone
it.
when you're gone.
Joni has it logged in, so she sees because she's been listing shoes and stuff. Uh, yeah, it's kind of. I never turn my computers off, so they're generally got eBay logged in somewhere.
Is she liking that? I never thought Joni would list.
Well, the one problem happened. She has an ulterior motive for listing. She wants new shoes, and so she's listing all of her old shoes because when she broke her ankle, that foot is much bigger, so she needs another size up on most of her shoes. And so she is listing her personal shoes in order to get new shoes.
Okay.
And Imelda pulled out
Imelda.
three. She pulled out two and a half of the IKEA bags full of shoes out of her closet. She can't wear anymore, so that's what she's listing.
Jeez. My wife has 1 or 2 pairs of shoes.
Shoot.
Johnny has 50 or 60 pairs of shoes.
Wow. Well, my wife has always been a more of a relaxed, casual person, so sneakers and things like that, but no
But
dressy shoes.
if you think for a second, eBay doesn't track what you do and is in your business. Let me explain to
Well,
you
sure they are.
Amazon. For those of you who think these conspiracies are crazy, happen.
Are they green shoes?
Amazon tracks your mouse movements on the screen and changes
Yes.
things around and makes it to where, and they know where you spend the majority of your time when you're looking at pages, and they feed you advertising based on your mouse movements on the screen. And there's lots of talk as these phones can track your eye movement that they're going to use that kind of data to feed you advertising. So don't tell me it's not possible and tell me that it's a stupid idea and these things. I don't believe it happens, but it's not beyond the realm of
Who
possibility.
called it stupid?
By the way,
Here-
Timothy, yes, she does have green shoes. No, she doesn't wear those ones because they don't fit her correctly.
So that's another conspiracy theory on the Trash to Cash podcast. Is Carrie now taking over Dave's dominance? Dave usually talks the most, But Dave, and when Kevin brought this up and asked the guys in the podcast yesterday, check out Trash Cash. Those guys are hilarious. Kerry immediately just rah, 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 stupid, rah, rah, rah. And then Dave goes, "Well, it could be," and then Kerry just jumped down his throat, wouldn't let him speak. So is Kerry now the dominant force on that podcast? Stay tuned.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
think
watched
finally
it. I
got
knew who you were talking about when you said that you got called liars.
We're starting podcast wars. That's what we're starting.
Podcast wars.
We did that back in about 12 years ago when my podcast was new, the 40 and slip. There was another guy named Joe Mastrioni who used to do some stuff for Howard Stern. You know, the guy on the street type things Howard Stern did? That was Joe Mastrioni. Anyway, Joe did not like our podcast. So he started saying things on his podcast about ours. So we started this fake smear campaign and war with the guy. It was great, man. He didn't know it, but we did. So it was good.
So don't worry though. So how do we answer this? Don't worry, we'll have one of them on the show. So y'all tune in to the PPP this weekend. We might have one of those three on the podcast this weekend.
I am not turning into PP.
I will ask them in person.
Sweet.
We're gonna grill him like there's no tomorrow. Probably not, but it's funny to think about. Okay, so Mike G, here's a truth. You've heard YouTube eBay sellers. Okay, so some YouTube eBay sellers get some sales from their audiences, but I would tell you. So I used to think that you had to decide whether you were a YouTuber or a reseller, and because most people, you don't find a super successful YouTuber in this genre of reselling. That's a great eBayer or a great, and you don't find, and the other way around. If you're a great seller, your YouTube's not generally that great. There will be an exception.
I must be an awesome seller.
Oh my god! And there's some people that are no good at either one of them. Is that what you want me to say?
Oh, thanks.
The problem is
pick me up there, Scott.
All right, we break this thought to watch.
That isn't that little dog that I've seen before.
I know, right? That dog grew up so fast. Look at that.
And changed. Oh, there it is. I thought it changed breeds there for a minute.
Mama don't like you jerking on her sock like that, girls.
Yeah, that's what most mothers don't like that.
All right, but away from the problem, but it's I think there's more to it, because if you get good at one or the other, it takes up so much of your time that any time spent away from the one you're good at makes it work. So if you want to work on the YouTube side and you choose that, you're a YouTuber at heart, you don't, unless you have help and hire help. I think that's Kevin Commonwealth is one of the few that does both very well. It's because he has help. Somebody edits part of his videos. His family is very involved, which is a wonderful thing. And why is Dave selling all of his stuff on? This is another great example. Why is Dave selling all this stuff, his eBay stuff on District? Because have y'all seen his cooking channel? No, normally Dave kind of gets on my nerves, but he's funny on his cooking channel. I've enjoyed watching this and he's got like 140,000 subscribers. He gets just stupid views for him doing AI recipes, and so what would you do if you're very good at doing YouTube? Well, it'd almost be wasting time to do the reselling part. You do it part time because you love it, but the more time you invest in that, the more it takes away from what you're good at. Same thing with reselling. If you're an outstanding reseller, the YouTube takes away from it. And
I put a video up last night, and it took me, and I just did little edits, just little stuff, and it took me a good hour just to edit that stupid little video.
Yeah,
14-minute
I
video.
saw somebody talking about a video and why he hired an editor, and they're like, "You don't understand. This 20-minute video took an hour and a half to edit, hour and a half to film, 3 to 4 to 5 hours to edit, and on and on and on." He goes, "It just gets to a point where you can't do it all."
It would
Um,
be. I'd love to be a full-time YouTuber. It would be great. Nobody would follow, and that's the problem. But
we're so glad you're not.
come on, man. I'm trying really hard.
Uh,
I put out
Mr.
2 videos in 2 days. I mean, that's
Uh,
good for me.
Mr. Nostalgia Picker, could you please get your weather? It's April and your weather has snuck down here. It's like 28 degrees this morning in April in the South. What the hell? We should not be put to this kind of torture. Uh, James, I don't think you stink at reselling. So sorry.
I don't think he stinks at YouTube either. He's got pretty decent videos.
You must not stink at at TikTok because there's not a day goes by I don't see your dog's doing something on my phone, and it's usually just wandering around in circles. I'm like, oh, I don't even
I
have to
need
look
some.
at it. All I see is immediately see a dog run around. I'm like, oh, James is at it again. Uh,
Thank you, Major Win. At least somebody likes them.
so what do you say, Vermont? Shows well. So Southern Vermont Vintage, is that your name on what's your name on Whatnot? Is that your name on Whatnot? I want to follow you. Uh
We did 3 shows in 3 days. That was rough.
yeah, that's very hard. And so those of you who follow Jennifer is she is a so here's the story. I saw you, Doug and Rowe, Perkyville or Irritatingville,
Oh, what did I do? Sorry.
whatever, yeah, whoever y'all are today, Perkyville, Irritatingville, I don't know. Happy people, they're just so happy. But
Oh, Josie shared my show. Thank you, Josie.
and yeah, Josie. So a lot of people are trying these things. So Jennifer's had 4 or 5 shows now. No social media whatsoever, none. Her Facebook's in a different name. Her Instagram's in a different name. So if you don't know who she is, you have no idea. Very small followings. I mean, just minuscule. She's just doing personal stuff. And so, but she's been buying stuff for a year and buying cool stuff that she really loves. And she is absolutely destroying Whatnot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And her 4th show or 5th show, she had 170 people watching. For God's sake,
She
bidding.
certainly puts me to shame, but she's even putting you to shame with how many people she gets in there and sales she makes.
Well, it's a lot of you've got to have the merchandise in the categories, and she spent a year buying stuff and really watching and learning and interacting in that category, and all her followers when she started were from that category. It makes a difference.
Yeah, and I think that's my wife has then now started kind of following the same pattern. She's going to be selling clothes. She's going to open her own. Well, she's already done it, but start.
But so for the people who
following that plan.
Odie, I hope you got another commercial. I see you commented again.
And whoever Pat999PAK is, thank you for the follow on Whatnot.
No,
I need all of the help I can get.
So Steampunk Town, that's Odie. Williams Rustic Salvage, follow them on Whatnot. That's another. They didn't have any. They listened to my dumbass say you should probably try Whatnot, and they went over there and started watching someone who was very successful, and he'll tell you, oh, it was a rough first 2 months, but they are damn near 90-95% Whatnot now. Started out with no, and they were very good at it. Started out with no social media. You don't have to have social media.
Timothy, not so much right now because it's just hard to find that stuff at this moment.
2 commercials, outstanding. My goal for you is to have 10.
I know that in the end, Whatnot will be great for me. It's just a very, very slow start. But I'm not, and I promised myself, I promised my wife, and I promised Pat D's that I would not give up, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah, so I'm having another one tomorrow. So I've got to
For
collect
real
stuff
this
today.
time?
Yeah, I keep pushing it and pushing it. Yeah.
No, God, click follow, and there's nothing, and that doesn't. I don't get the notification. The good thing about pushing your shows on Whatnot, the followers go with it.
Oh,
The
so
bookmarks go with it.
I got to put up some more. So I intended to. So here's what happened. I intended to go to the flea market Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and pick up some cool stuff that I was specifically buying because I think you've got to specifically buy a lot of the new toys I've got for Amazon and stuff are not things I want to sell over there. I want to sell interesting stuff. I want to sell stuff like what I picked up yesterday. Johnny's so this is funny. Um, so I've been selling crock pots. They're good for most people don't want to mess with them because they're big, they break, they're heavy, they're expensive. I get it. And so it's like a printer. And so I'm like, you know what, I'll do it. And I find these old ones like this one.
Yep.
That one's really cool. It's from the 80s. It's a 3.5 quart. And I've got like six different designs now. And I'm like, there's got to be a market that somehow I can market that. And Johnny sends me a message talking about you should try those on Whatnot. You can call it Watt Pot, Crock Knot. You could,
Crocknut.
yeah, Watt Pot and Crock Knot. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I think with Whatnot, you need to find your footing. Right now, I haven't quite. I know hats are a good thing for me. Both my hat shows did really well, but you got to find a thing that sells well for you, your personality, and well, or lack thereof, and does good for you. And once you find that, Whatnot is going to be a really good thing for me right now. It's hats, so I'm
it's like
sourcing a lot of hats.
it's like that one right there.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
Goo-
vintagey.
Google search could not pull up like 2 sales. I am the only one on eBay with that one. I put it at $100.
Mhm.
It is. I think this is from the 70s. There's not one on eBay. There's not been an eBay sale, and I didn't look it up on. I didn't try to look it up on. But this one, but the little squared pattern, and most time the potpourri crocks, the little bitty ones that you don't cook food in. But this one is just in that design, but it's a regular big one. Um, no, this one is actually the. So Julie, it has the same lid. It's just one. It's the same model as. It's the same model as that one.
I've sold a lot of crockpot stuff in the past, and so has my wife. They can sell really well. I just sold a crockpot lid. It was a big one, for one of the bigger, $29, and they paid $52 with shipping altogether to get that stupid lid.
Yeah, they're the same model. Julie, it's either a 3150 or a 3100 or a 3150. Yeah, I've got a bunch of these.
They're not that difficult to ship either once you learn how to do it.
It's you've got to get the right box, and then you've got to pack the absolute hell out of them.
Patricia, I changed my name on Whatnot, and I think that caused some confusion. So it's what it is on the screen now, and I'm gonna just leave it for a while because when you change your name, it changes the link as well. So if you plan on changing your name on Whatnot, and you have links in your YouTube videos, you've got to change those links as well because it doesn't automatically update that, even though you put it in your settings on YouTube.
Because I find bigger, I've got to figure out the shipping on bigger stuff because that'll kill you on Whatnot if you don't.
Yeah, that's. I think hats have been good for me because the shipping is easy. I can get 30 some hats in a 14 by 12 by 12. So, and not squishing them if you put them in there right. I am having a show tonight if people want to come out. We're doing wrestling figures from the 90s. Most of them are from the 90s. This era.
Marcia, shouldn't you be at work?
So, if anybody out there knows, this is from the guy from Powers of Pain. I cannot find this guy anywhere. On eBay, he is one of the original San Francisco ones. San Francisco toy makers, and I can't find him. So if anybody
I,
knows anything about these things, let me know about this guy.
Hey, Marcia, did Harlan tell you about Monday? Okay, so Monday, I'm up there and I'm looking at the tables. I'm like, so Harlan, of all your stuff, and Harlan's got his tables, they're laid out just perfect. He does a good job with Van Mass. There's a reason why he gets good money. And I was like, how much of this stuff is Marcia's? He looks at it and he goes, probably about half. I'm like, half? He goes, yeah, it's eventually going to go into one big pot anyway, so what does it matter?
Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
I could
so
not.
Da, da,
If
that.
Lag is being serious, I could not find a sale for this guy. I can't remember his name right offhand. I know he's from Powers of Pain, but could not find a sale for this guy. And in the last 3 years on Therapy, and I couldn't even find reference to him in the toy catalogs. So I don't know. I'll have to look him up again, see who he is.
So yeah, that was Monday. Monday was good had my best week at the auction last week, and then since the trailer is now working, I drug the freaking
You're never
trailer.
serious.
A truck is working. I drug the trailer up there, and I emptied 3/4 of the trailer of all these things. Yeah, everybody's saying the Road Warrior.
No, he's not. He's not. He has a similar face paint. I thought that at first too, but he's from. He says right on his pants, Powers of Pain, and that was a tag team duo. I don't think I have his buddy.
They put a lot of the stuff on the bottom on their butts. Did you look real close at his ass?
No, it's on his foot. All the information is. I know what you mean. I'm not looking at the guy's ass, but
Jen, have a good day.
and he does this. Oh, he doesn't do anything. We went to a yard sale last weekend, and they had hundreds of wrestling figures, and they also had an 18-gallon tote full of Imagine X stuff.
See,
So I might have bought a lot of action figures and Imagine X stuff for a little bit of money. So
see, Marcia's got she's like the best Van Massey person ever. She didn't even go up there. She just tells Harlan what she wants. Harlan takes it and puts it out and does everything, and then he brings her money back. She's got Van Massey figured out for sure.
we were trying to find we have a local auction that's consignment, but it's a good long drive. How far do you go for yours? What's the how
Up
many hours
there
away?
from my house, 28 miles. So he drives about 38 miles.
So that's not too far for you guys, but we'd have to go. It's about an hour away before we find the first good consignment auction. And it's not like yours. It's not online. It's an old cattle auction barn. It's actually long story short, where my mother and my father met originally was at this auction barn. And
You're saying your dad got your mom at an auction?
No, I'm saying my mom.
I thought they outlawed that in the 1800s.
Yeah, my mom made a huge mistake, and I won't go into it. But yeah.
And we have to, and because your mom made a mistake, we have to put up with you. That's
Little Hope, Pennsylvania. If you want to look at the size of that town, that is where my mom and dad. Chesley's auction barn. Warlord, there it is. Yeah, Warlord or Barbarian. I think it's Barbarian.
You speak of the devil shows up.
You say my name 3 times, I show up, just like Beetlejuice.
Groom, groom, groom. Isn't that your name?
That's it. Groom, groom, groom.
Yeah, she's giving away all your secrets, and now she's saying that if she bids on stuff, he takes it off your check.
What's up with that?
Timothy, the link you sent me, or the picture you sent me, it is the guy, but it's not the same figure. This guy's hard to find. I'm telling you, I did a lot of research when wasn't looking up. I'm 99% of those figures I'm just selling. I don't care. But it has to be OSFTM, and it has to be this particular guy. But I will find out. So he is actually barbarian. No, he's warrior. Warrior from Power.
Yeah, so now I gotta find that dang Google Nest so I can have a sale today.
What bin is it in?
Is that the build? I'm almost positive.
How you got that great inventory system? You could probably just look in that bin and it'll be
Yeah,
there.
it should be in bin H.
K7.
I'm almost positive. I know where it's at on the second shelf.
I'm on A2 now. If any of us done eBay Live yet, as a seller, it is in beta and you have to be invited.
Eric gets here an hour late. Somebody put him in timeout. He should not be allowed to even participate in chat the rest of the day. They should make him watch from the corner and time him out for an hour. You'll be proud of me yesterday, Harlan. Of the 14 things I listed, 12 of them have locations on them.
Ooh.
12 out of 14. That's pretty good for me.
That is.
And of the one that doesn't have it, it's a freaking blender. It's just sitting on a shelf. I mean,
yeah.
I started putting locations on things when my wife had to come help me find things. Of course, she'd find it almost immediately, but it would take me forever. So I finally decided, okay, location. Well, just bin number. Or bin letter actually.
But it's important. So the one thing I would tell you, dang, what are you doing, Harlan? That had to be you. Southern Vermont Vintage. Did you ever tell us what your whatnot store was? Did I miss that? So Vassanoodle said he's never strayed much out of selling of electronics. So if you're going to do, the one thing I would tell you about whatnot is you definitely need to, unless you're going to do the storage auction category, the people that I see that get very good at whatnot sell
niche down.
Yeah, they niche down because they attract an audience over there and people that find them that are looking for.
I don't think you need to niche down and only sell one type of thing, but you need to
find a
one
category.
Type of thing per show. I think you can be a very successful hat seller and a wrestling figure seller, but you have to, you don't want to put them in the same show. That's, I think, where my problem was in the first few.
Yes, correct. I think you're 100% correct.
Now, unless you're just selling random stuff from a storage unit, that's different. And some of those guys are very successful. Some of them are not. I've been learning a lot about the way things work over there.
And like I watch some clothing sellers, and they do well because they're doing clothing from the bins, and so people can count on the fact that they're going to have new merchandise and new variety, and they're live 3 or 4 times a day. And then I watch another couple that Kent introduced me to. They are storage auction buyers, and so they have storage units, and they just go through the whole unit. And so people that like buying that kind of stuff, and
Lag's looking at my eBays again.
But they are a little different because they
that means Lag follows me.
They have crazy personalities that keep you watching as they get through these storage units. I know, Kent, right? Marcy and Harlan been working so fast. Look, the baby's already here.
Look at there. Woo! Can you say hi? Say hey, everybody.
Oof,
No.
I need to retake my tie pictures.
Oh,
I watched a guy last night who sells ties on eBay, and my pictures suck compared to his. So I'm going to follow his formula.
There's your Mimi. You can go see Mimi. Go see Mimi. Just take your car.
John, no, it is amazing the loyalty with which people have on that platform.
On Whatnot, I can tell you, like somebody like Josie from here, and people like her, follow me all over the place, and they follow you all over the place too.
Yeah, so don't
And
forget,
the loyalty is awesome.
District is still not a bad place. So Alex will be there with Rod. So check them out today. Um, Rod, I've watched Rod a couple times. Rod brings some good stuff over there.
I'm getting better at taking photos.
Monkey Stash.
You haven't sold it yet.
eBay's background remover has gotten better, so it makes my photos look nicer.
Yes, we could all hear that. It sounded like this.
My ear is blasted out.
That's what it sounded like. Odie, it's a different beast, man. It's a District is the same way, except for that. District is not a bad place, except for that damn dollar auction place. I would never do anything over there. You can't find anything at dollar auction. They're so expensive. So Corey,
sarcasm.
Grams and Pop Vintage have started their own market over there, dollar auction. Chris sells on there, so Chris mentions dollar auction a lot. So that's those guys on District.
I think Roman is the one that first told me about it.
District is hard.
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
My only negativity, Corey, is District is harder to sell to get some of the prices you get on Whatnot. But if you want to source on District, you can find great deals for product. If you're looking for product, District is a great place to go pick stuff up. Whatnot started out that way, so if you want to see where District is going, look where Whatnot was 3 or 4 years ago, where everybody goes, man, you can't sell nothing over there, but you sure can source. And now that's gotten much harder to source over there. But you sure can.
It's just harder.
But you sure can sell things. I think District is just a few years behind Whatnot. I think if you want to see the trajectory and where it's going, I think District will follow right along.
If you want to source things on Whatnot, come to one of my shows. It goes really cheap.
All right,
cheap. I'm the king of cheap over there. So much so that my wife doesn't even want to be on the channel anymore. She wants to do
we're going there.
What's the oldest thing in y'all's stores?
Oldest? You mean as far as listing time?
Listed.
How do you find that out? Is there a way?
Oldest thing, Todd, he's the oldest thing. Hey, Corey, I made you a moderator in there, so
I'm looking through to see if I can see what the oldest thing is.
Put up your links to the dollar auction so everybody can check out your guys' area of District.
So
I think you can just do dollarauction.com, right?
Yes, I think you can.
I think dollarauction.com does it.
Yeah, Javis, I might actually change my eBay store name to King. Well, no, eBay I'm not cheap, but on Whatnot, I sure am.
I got like 100 of these piston pins in a pallet, and I listed them 7 years ago, and I sold 6 of them yesterday.
I don't think I got anything that old.
7 years.
I need to.
So did you break even finally?
Oh yeah, I'm weighing the profit. Plus, it was in a pallet of all kinds of other stuff. I don't even remember what all was in that pallet, but it's all gone but the piston pins. And I still have like 60 of them.
And my oldest is probably 3 or 4
years. So you're saying Lag is going to be selling those long into...
That's right. Lag's going to inherit my death pile. It's not officially death pile because it's listed.
It's just dead.
But but those two platforms, the one thing I like about District and Whatnot is, man, I talked about this before, is just the community. People are, for the most part, are very positive. They're very helpful. It is truly amazing. The shared, you would think that that people wouldn't help each other because you're helping your competition or what.
Yeah.
But man, the buyers are for the most part very nice. People, I mean, it is it could have been a cut. I don't know how that developed, but it could have been just a cutthroat industry. But it turns out that it's the exact opposite. There's
I'll
so
tell you,
many.
the reason I like selling on Whatnot, reselling is boring when you're doing it by yourself at home.
It is
When
boring.
you're doing it on Whatnot, you at least have somebody to interact with. You know, so I mean, there's that the social aspect of it is probably what wins me over there.
So what you're saying is, if you want to double down on boring, watch Steve on Whatnot. That's boring and boring.
That's right.
I
Like,
know I just sold those. I think there are people who would say I'm not boring. Not very many.
Marsha doesn't count.
Well, she probably would say it too. I'm not an exciting person.
not an exciting.
So Mike said he
It's the truth.
he had a good sale on district last night.
That sounds like a lot like Forrest Gump saying, "I am not a smart man."
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, it's exactly like Dumb and Dumber, Tim.
Dumbest.
All right, so Harlan, you're the last one on here. What conspiracy theory do you think is true for reselling?
Conspiracy theories?
The theories that people have about shadow banning and the things that they think the reason why they don't get sales. You know, the one thing they don't say on there is most people don't. The reason you don't get sales, it's never their fault. It's always some other reason why they don't get sales.
I do think if you don't list regularly, that they may not show your stuff. Because I mean, if you're out there tinkering with it every day, do a listing or even
Some kind of activity where you're adjusting
make
prices.
changes or something. I do think that. I mean, is it true? I don't know, but
Thank you, Tactical Z.
He came an hour late. His opinion does not matter.
If it's true that you must promote listings,
Matters to me.
then how did I sell $350 worth of crap yesterday?
Because after 6 years, somebody found your piston things.
No, those were actually like $5 each.
Okay, so I've had a developing theory about promoted listings. If you're like a clothing seller selling regular stuff, you're going to need to stand out. But if you have one-off items that are odd, hard to find, like the one crock pot I have that I'm the only one on there and nobody else has seen it. I did put a small amount of promoted listings on it because I want it shown if somebody is searching for that brand or that model and not specific for that pattern.
Yeah, thanks, Lag, for keeping me in business.
But I think you need it less. I think people will search out rarer items because the search will be the more specific you have to be in the search to find the item, the less if I'm looking for something model this, unless it's an item that's okay, so brakes. If I'm looking for another set of brakes for that truck, which I'm not, it's finally fixed. How many people sell F-150 brakes? Just a ton. And so you've either got to compete on price or promotion. But how many of these can there be out there? A few, but not as many sellers of this versus auto parts. You know what I mean? The less sellers of an item, the more rare an item, the more I think you don't. And so that's just my personal opinion on.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, some things need to be promoted. I do agree, especially clothing. Maybe throw a little bit, but I don't promote.
I can tell you, I don't know about clothing. I don't know if my wife promotes or not, but she does run sales. and that is where she's getting all her sales right now. When she's running sales on her, she puts them up a little bit higher than normal, and then runs a 30% off sale, and she's getting sales every day. Whereas before she started doing that, and she's rerunning those sales every 48 hours. So she stopped. She's only because it's a sense of urgency type thing.
Yeah. So if James Primo is still in here, he thinks that number, because as the sales he's run, the 30% number on sales is a number that really generates a lot of results. I've heard him talk about.
I don't know where she came up with it, but that's what she's doing. It gives you, it gives the buyer a sense that they're getting a deal. Plus,
Right.
if you run them I was telling her about Dusty and how he used to do things with sales and things like that, and he'd run them for a shorter amount of time because you get the countdown timer. Well, you don't necessarily get that as much now, but it still gives you big red letters, sale almost over, or something like that. It's something on there that gives the buyer a sense of urgency. And ever since she started doing that, she's outdone me in sales. I haven't done any of it, so I need to start doing it.
Todd, you look better already. John was 100%. You're gonna have to tell us what John was correct on.
Which
left.
John? That would be
That'd be
Flippin' Ain't Easy John.
Flippin' Ain't Easy John, yeah.
You already come back to see
He's still asleep, so he's not watching yet. Harlan Jr.
He's yeah, I don't know what he ends up back in here all the time. No, right. Yesterday he was in here probably 10 or 12 times, and today looks like it's going to be one of those days. Isn't that right, Mr. Levi?
I've heard of cheap labor before, but jeez.
I know. Can you list on eBay? How much can I look? Mimi was looking for you, and she comes straight here. Look, she sees you. You go see Mimi. Hi. Hey, go see Mimi.
Don't worry,
How
I'll
do you
be
get anything
back.
done?
Yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes. See you.
How do you get anything done, man?
I know, right?
I like it when it's other people's children. You know what I mean? Yeah, they
All right, Tamara.
hang around all they want.
We need to work that out.
And then they can go home. Yeah, we need to do that.
I'll ask. Odie is my resident expert on whatnot. One day I'll ask him about it if he answers the phone.
Who's your resident expert?
In the chat, Steampunk Town.
Oh, okay.
I tried calling him to ask him 2 questions yesterday, and he sent me the voicemail.
Dang.
It was terrible.
We blocked you.
You know, I have a hard time reaching out to people and asking questions, but when I
had
first started,
I had to go back to listening to Iron Maiden. I had to go back to listen to Iron Maiden, which I should have just been doing the whole time.
When I first started Whatnot, I reached out to the only Whatnot seller I really know, and that's Pat Dees, and he helped me out a ton. He helped me out a ton learning the shipping and things like that. So
Jay, he's still in here. He's a little bit of a scientist, like not to the same extreme Dusty was, but not afraid to try things. And for some reason, that 30% number was the kicker. That
yes, Josie. Do you have a show tonight, Josie, on Whatnot?
Odie, I hope she's all right, man. That does suck. You get a pass if you hit the thumbs up. So Josie is doing Whatnot tonight. So if you're on Whatnot, check Josie out. That wasn't even 5 minutes, Harlan. That was
He's going to be a YouTube star.
It's like 2 minutes. That was like 2 minutes.
8 p.m. Okay.
What's up with this? This
if
is
I'm still going at 8, I'll send you some viewers.
What's the draw?
Mine's at 6, I think. Better check.
No, we'll put you to work. Here, come here. Let's go see movie.
Josie, put the link in the chat, Josie, so if some people want to get to you and bookmark your show. I think it's important. There's only 100 people here. We appreciate each and every one of you.
6, yeah.
Support each other. Just to check it out. Yeah, don't go live when Kevin's live. He sucks all the oxygen out.
I don't find that to be true, to be honest with you.
No, on Did Bit.
I mean, when other big people go live.
On Did Bit, if he was, you know what I mean. You wouldn't. But so Tamara, the one thing I would tell you is if you can sell it in bulk, if you can fit on Google Commons, Kevin would do a show with you. That he did one yesterday, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Didn't find anything that I was interested in buying, but man, it's just some good deals. Somebody got like 8 or 10 plush for like $2, and there were four or five of them were Build-A-Bear. One of them was Build-A-Bear Paw Patrol.
I'm going to be doing some plush here soon. I just don't have quite the amount I need for this. I'm trying to find real good quality ones. I don't want to sell crap.
Because remember, you got Corey in here who was with the dollar auction. He'd be willing to help you if you wanted to sell with him and learn his site. Kevin would be the same way because remember, it's to their benefit for you to do well. And so they want you to have a good experience. They want you to continue to be active in their particular parts of the district. And so,
I find my followers here.
I know, you just have to be happy with what Paw Patrol collection you have right now without the. It was one of the big Build-A-Bear. It was Chase, the police stuff.
Ooh,
Scared that I know that.
Josie is doing Disney tonight, so if you're into Disney.
Yeah, because I think Corey, I think I missed it, but didn't you guys do like your version of a raid train over there where you guys went back to back to back to back with quite a few sellers? I think y'all did that last week. There's so much that goes on. I have a hard time keeping up with all this. I just remember you guys talking about it on Chris's show. No, it wasn't Rubble. It was Chase.
How did I get 348 followers? I am convinced that giveaways only give you very low quality followers on Whatnot.
Hey Corey, that's really outstanding. 30 to 70 people on that, and you guys have not been doing it too terribly long. That's really good.
Yeah, on Whatnot I can barely get 10, 15 at a time. And what do you average? About 20, 25, 30? Somewhere in that range?
30 to 40, yeah. And I think that is specifically due to if I have the category that I want to sell in and the things I want to do. If once I get that kind of merchandise, I think that number will go up pretty good. I'm just doing it with the new toys and stuff just to get some experience and get all the kinks worked out.
Kent, you might be right. I don't know. I just found. Thank you, Flip It Good, for following. I found that giving stuff away gets you a lot of followers, but I also found that none of them come back. Very few of them. So I don't know. I just don't know. I'm still doing it. I didn't on my last hat show because we wanted to run a quick show, but I will tonight. I'll give some stuff away. But
if you enter a giveaway now, don't you have to follow the person?
Yeah, but geez, right after the giveaway, you can click the unfollow button. I do it sometimes. If it's not somebody I really want to follow.
So the one thing I would tell you is find something, so I picked up these Lego sets, the little Legos I give away. They are 40-piece sets. They are, I think they're worth $8, $9, $10. Yeah, those. I bought 100 or 125 of them in a bulk buy. And so my cost on them is very low. So it's just basically the shipping. And so that's what I've been using.
I found this in the Goodwill bins yesterday. It's just a Ninjago. It's a minifig, but he's worth $10. But
Yeah,
I'll,
and
when I do a show that's more focused on toys, and then this little, like if you can get them really super cheap like that, these cost me nothing out of the bins, but they're brand
if
new, sealed. So
and then
I will
there's
stay. I will stay long enough in a room for the giveaway, and if they're very boring, like probably my shows, I would leave and then unfollow.
Roman. You
That's
probably
me.
should. Roman, you probably shouldn't leave everything in the front yard if it's going to
Hey
freeze.
Roman, I missed you at the bins yesterday. We were there. I didn't see you.
So that's Southern Vermont. I was about to say the exact same thing. Definitely do a buyer's giveaway, something that encourages people who have bought stuff to stay around and buy, encourage people to buy. I've had some figures that I picked up. Harlan was there with me that day. I picked up how many figures did I buy that day, Harlan? Must
Where
have
at?
been when we were at that yard sale. That guy was all those figures. I bought like 6 or 7 tubs full of those dang
No, yeah.
figures. There, I think I averaged like $3 a piece for them. I bought close to 125 new in box figures, and I had a couple that have been up for a long time, so I've used those as giveaways the last couple of times. I'm down to one, but
If I know you, like if I know you and I haven't bought anything from you and whatnot, I won't enter your giveaway because I feel guilty. But if I don't know you, yeah, I'm entering your giveaway.
remember the guy that was selling all those, Harlan, that kind of stuff. He had the little circle thing on them over there.
That's
Off
the guy
of,
that he had everything in the driveway, and in his
everything in the
garage,
driveway.
he had stacks of cars and stuff against the wall.
Yeah, and
might
the
be
one
there.
that I've got another tub inside. If you want me to go get them, sure, go get them.
Oh yeah, he kept going back in inside.
Might be there tomorrow, Roman. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw one of them yesterday. A wrestler. He went for
Oh, I
89.
got those
and then
wrestlers too.
I'll be right there,
Just
Roman.
remembered.
I saw a Barbie yesterday for 130.
Sold a what?
A Barbie,
Nice.
mermaid hair Barbie for 129.99.
Was that one that you bought or found bought at a store or bought at a yard sale?
I think it was a yard sale. I think it was that lady out here in Meridianville in that neighborhood across from where the Publix is down there. That she had them in her garage, and I bought a bunch of them.
Gotcha. Is that Amazon?
Yeah, that was Amazon.
Yeah.
I can't believe well, you just hiding there. You having to feed the convict or whoever your kidnap victim is behind the curtain there, Tom. It's too late, Todd. I already saw Gwen walk by. She got on a gray shirt today. You immediately turn it off. I'm like, oh, too late. There goes Gwen.
Oh, okay.
She sneaks up on me. I never can hit it right.
You gotta put inventory in her way. Then she has to knock something over to come
There
in.
is inventory in her way.
Yeah, but that's the one thing about these live platforms. You're definitely right, Steve. It definitely does add some. Oh, sorry again.
I was right.
Bye.
I know, right? You don't hear that very much often. It adds
Bad juice. What's up?
and even with it playing in the background and people selling stuff, it takes some of the monotony, some of the I'm out here in the building by myself away. I don't even have to call it. I don't even have to call and talk to Kent. It's awesome.
I am going to try something tonight with my Whatnot show and also broadcast it on YouTube at the same time just to see how that works. To see if it brings in any more followers. So we'll see.
Before the post office closes. I can't believe that's a thing. Post office I mean, mine does. I can't believe that's a thing. But the one thing is, if you sell a lot of items, though, you better be prepared to ship. That's the one thing. Because yeah, Harlan, I was talking to Jennifer about that yesterday. I'm like, she's like, I normally ship next day, and and she was finishing up from her Sunday show yesterday, late yesterday, and because it's a different type of shipping than she's been used to, and takes longer. I'm like, I know, I'll sell 30 or 40 items, and you've already shipped 100. I'm like, what the hell?
The show is at 6
And
p.m. Eastern tonight.
all mine are crazy, and I'm working on boxes, and
I
hers
don't know
is
how
glass.
Jennifer does it. She's got big stuff and glass, and
Glass,
I
breakable.
don't think I'd want to do that for a Whatnot show yet because I don't understand the shipping well enough. I know it, but I don't understand it well enough to be able to do what she's doing. But more power to her. That's I mean, she's just kicking ass over there, really. I just set up a giveaway for my Whatnot while we were talking.
She got any help packing?
yeah, she's got a friend who he's been helping her do the prep work. But they're on a cruise right now, so she was on her own yesterday.
I actually enjoy the shipping part, and for all the shows I've ever done, even the ones that were a year ago where they were a little more successful than the ones now, I had no problem shipping it in the same day, but that's because I enjoy shipping. That's my favorite part of the process. I don't know why it's my favorite. It just is.
Told you that was boring right there. Yeah, so Odie said they package ship 401 weekend. Yeah, the one after that raid train or the contest y'all were in, y'all sold a lot of stuff. 3 shows in one weekend. That was a lot of stuff.
I did sell CDs, 65 CDs in a flat rate box on Whatnot. But that whole show was each box had its own shipping profile. So each box, no matter what you bought, it was still $9.21 shipping. Even if you bought 2 or 3, it was $9.21 each.
Yeah,
So
so
that made the
you gotta
boxes
be
almost $20, $50.
you got to be prepared. You got to understand the boxes you're going to need. This if you're going to sell lots of items
Lenny
on a
K
platform
started
like
for
that,
me.
you don't realize the number of boxes you'll burn through, and understand where you can get them locally. We just happen to have 3 Staples here, and so I can get most Staples boxes the same set of sizes by going to one of those 3.
I was a forward thinker. I'd like to think of myself as a forward thinker, and I ordered a crap ton of regional A and B boxes before they stopped. So I have a lot of those and those work perfectly fine for Whatnot as long as you're not choosing flat rate.
Yeah, I've got one pack left. They're up there somewhere.
I got a crap ton because I had them.
Shoot, I took 95% of mine back.
Well, the problem
There you go.
was, yeah, I would have, but when Ground Advantage came out, it was cheaper to send that way than it was priority at that time because it used to be you would use a lot of priority. So I thought I was a forward thinker by ordering a bunch of those priority boxes, and then they changed it to Ground Advantage, and so yeah, it didn't do me any good. But now it does because I can use them for Whatnot.
How much
And
of
I
our
ordered a
shipping
bunch of
stuff
flat
comes
rates.
from China? And are the tariffs going to affect our tape and bubble wrap and boxes and all this stuff?
I think a lot of the bubble wrap is made
Labels. Should we be stocking up in case that stuff goes short?
I think the boxes are made here. All the boxes are.
Most of your boxes are going to be made here, unless you're ordering from Temu or something.
Josh said he stocked up on a bunch of stuff because he was afraid of tariffs shutting down his supplies.
Josh is in Canada too, so it might be different for him. I don't know. It might be the same. I don't know.
Toilet paper comes from China.
So here's that.
I'll just start getting more used boxes from the.
Maybe I was a forward thinker. I knew this was going to happen, so I have a paper tape machine. So that paper tape's probably made here with the boxes. I would think.
I would guess. I think so. See, we're both forward thinkers. That's right.
So who all in here sells on Whatnot, and what is your name on Whatnot? I need to follow some folks.
Yes, Scott. I'm a normal person. I only have one paper tape machine. I don't have like. How many do you have? 4, 5, 6.
I would have to have 4, 5, 6 people doing things to have that many machines.
That
I can
doesn't.
only use one at a time.
Scott collects paper tape machines and printers.
Now thermal printers, I have a few. Remember that one they sent that one they sent me to do a promotion on my YouTube channel because nobody follows me. I don't know why they sent it to me. I cannot get that thing to work anymore. The driver, you can't find it on the internet now. And I even contacted the company and they didn't get back to me.
So there's Josie's.
Timothy's name is Bubble Machine on Whatnot, apparently.
I know Josie sells Southern Vermont Vintage sales. Who else was mentioned? Tamerlane.
There was one you said they shipped 400.
That was Steam. That's Williams.
Steam-
Oh,
Their
yeah,
name Williams Rustic Salvage.
That's a good
is their name
sale,
on
too.
Whatnot.
Williams.
I just sold.
Salvage.
Yeah, Williams.
I
Rustic
sold
Salvage.
a very nice. I don't know if you could see it.
That's
Backgammon set.
That's Odie and Amy. They do a nice job. Real nice job on Whatnot.
Sold that backgammon set. It was a really nice one. I could have held out for more, but you know what? I'm in the business of selling, so I sold that for $30. It was a nice one, though. One of the nicest ones I've ever found. But I listed it for 50. They offered 30. I said, you know what? I got it out of the Goodwill bin, so yes.
Was there anybody else that we missed that so Harlan can watch? Tamara,
If you have David, if you have that driver, please send it to me via Facebook or something, or give me a link or something, because I'd like to get that printer working again. They sent me the flash drive with it on, but the flash drive didn't work when I got it, so I had to ask the guy, and he uploaded it to Google Drive, and that Google Drive doesn't exist anymore. So,
Tamerlane, what's your name on Whatnot? Because there is a Tamerlane on there, but I don't think that's you.
hence is Nicole State.
Silver hair stack. Todd sells on here too.
Yellow. So
Do what?
That's Lag's name on Whatnot.
So Yellow Fox, Harlan. Follow Yellow Fox.
Yellow.
Oh hell, no wonder I'm already following
No,
Tam.
I got to start following people. I might be following her. I don't know. How do you follow people on Whatnot?
Just go into search, type their name in
the
search, and hit follow. Now, Kent's name on Whatnot is Sitting Bull.
Okay, there's a yellow fox with a little fox logo. Is that the right one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's her.
Done. She's doing pretty good over there. All right, who else did I miss? I already got Josie.
Yeah. So so Steven. So Steve and Josie, y'all both have sales today. Is that correct?
Yeah, 6 o'clock for mine Eastern and 8 o'clock for hers. I'm assuming Eastern. I'm trying different times of day to see what works best. I don't know if it really matters. I think it more matters what you're selling and who's following you and stuff. But if you're trying to sell to resellers, you can sell pretty much any time of the day because resellers are available. If you're trying to sell to the general public, you might want to go later in the evening.
But you gotta realize but the time zones are
Right.
and
So
there are people at you can turn that app on and they're live selling, and people with big audiences anytime, day to night. It's crazy.
there's a lady that my wife follows who does. She just left the house. That does clothing, and she goes live at like midnight, and she's on till like 6 a.m. just selling clothing because that's the time she can go live. She has another
And like
job.
the lady who
Thank you,
watch
Josie.
live from the flea markets, she'll go live from the flea market what 6:37 a.m. and
I have a
sell for
hard
3 or
time.
4
I
hours.
have a hard time watching those guys. Or is she walking around the flea market, or is she just
Walking around
like
asking
if
it,
you have your own booth, that's
she'll,
different.
she'll show a booth and go, okay, does anybody want anything here? How much is it? And she'll buy stuff right there while she's got the thing live.
I have a hard time.
I'm not that coordinated. And then she'll go in and put each item in while she's live and sell them all before she leaves.
Roman, from our bins or or are you just talking in general? I've seen people from the bins do it, but I would have a hard time doing it. Number one, because I'm at the bins to make money. I'm not at the bins to make, take my time picking items.
Well, a lot of these folks with the bins they don't buy it unless they sell it. So
Right, I understand that, but you got to take some time. You have Roman, you'll have to point her out to me next time I see you there.
yeah,
I've never
Sutter's
seen
Mill.
that.
You're 100 percent correct that people selling after work, people selling during the day at the time.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, so she doesn't sell live from the bins. She sells late at night. Okay.
Remember what you guys think late at night in California is just 8 p.m. You know what I
8
mean?
p.m. 8 p.m.
They can be 3 hours behind you. So if it's midnight your time, it's only 9 p.m.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out for us the best time for me.
Right.
And it could be in the middle of the afternoon. It could be 6 in the evening. It could be, I do a lot of 8:30 stuff when normally the show I'm doing tonight, I would have done at 8:30 because my wife's already upstairs and it's just, these are easy. I'm just pulling random things out of a bucket.
I mean,
But-
and there's so many things. Kent, what's the guy's name who goes around and if you've got a big merchandise, he will come and sell your stuff on Whatnot for you. We were following him the other day. What's that guy's name, Kent? He's got a huge following, like 60-some thousand people. Corey Manx, that's it. Corey Manx. Interesting cat. Does a lot of cool stuff. If you want to watch somebody who has grown his audience and really does so Corey Manx is live right now. Imagine that. Is he still in South Carolina?
I think the biggest issue for me is deciding what goes on eBay, what goes on Whatnot, and how to split that time. I'm not doing Amazon anymore. I will do a little bit of Etsy here and there when I have time. But how do you decide? It's not that hard for me to decide what goes where. Like these wrestling figures, I don't want to take the time to go through 200 wrestling figures. I'm just not going to do it. They're going to sit here forever.
See, that's
if I had to list them individually.
See, that's Corey Manx's business model is last week he was selling Sorbaz stuff in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And now this week he is in Illinois selling somebody's stuff. And
That's
he'll on his account, he helps you ship and to make sure it gets out correctly and brings his big audience. Let's see how many Corey's got watching him right now. Corey currently has 127 people watching him at 844.
I can tell you, even though Goodwill already does Whatnots in certain areas, they still are going to miss a lot of stuff if you're going to the bins. A lot of stuff. Trust me.
So he travels around and helps other people get started on Whatnot.
No, it's more. It's not. It's more of he sells your merchandise for you. It's not. I don't think he does much of the teaching. It's just you come there, set up the.
Does he get a commission or something?
Yeah, he takes. I don't forget what it is, but yeah.
It's an interesting business model.
50% of the
Sure.
take. So,
Huh.
You must have to have a
Interesting.
lot of stuff because if he's traveling, I mean, that's
yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a good point. If you want it to sit on the shelf, you put it on eBay. If you want to get rid of it, okay. So
It
this is the
depends on the item.
So
Sure. If I'm getting a bulk buy at the right price, and I don't feel like the wrestling figures, it's going on Whatnot.
So like that, I bought that. I went on
That's an
eBay.
eBay item. Sure.
I went on eBay.
yeah, they were just here the other day.
It's listed for I think $139. And it's the cameras. It's the stuff that I want to sell on eBay. I want to sell on cool stuff.
I sold
like
a bunch of cameras on Whatnot just because I didn't feel like taking the time to test them all. And
For untested, some of those Sonys, you got pretty decent money.
yeah, they still. I mean, I could have made more on eBay, but you know what? They have been sitting in my basement for 2 or 3 years now because I just didn't feel like doing anything with them. And I had tested a few of them. I just don't remember which ones worked and which ones didn't. So I just
Does
sold them
Steve have in his
untested on
basement?
Whatnot. I had, well, besides the hostages, I had cameras down there
Tom's
to
the one
watch
with
the hostages.
Tom's the one with hostages. They're behind that tablecloth he calls a curtain.
You guys have never seen my basement. There's a back room. Nobody wants to go in.
I wonder how he does that, Ken. If they have to, make sure they have all the boxes and have everything. It's got to be. I mean, I'm sure he's got a process that he's worked through, but no lag. We did not say basement.
I do not make any sense. Ever.
All right, so
You should not take my advice. Ever. Shit, I don't even take my own advice.
so he ships them in. I got you. That makes sense.
I wish I had 100 hidden rooms full of inventory.
Oh,
I am actually running low on inventory. My wife refuses to get a storage unit because we don't want the extra expense, and I understand it. We just don't have the extra money right now. But that means I've got to list everything that comes in this house the same day or the next day.
I thought you had a
And get it
rule, or you're
sold.
supposed to lay down the law and tell her if you want a storage unit, you'll get one. Damn it!
That's not the way it works around here.
If I want 3, I'll have 3. Damn it!
No, we do want to get a shed or something eventually, but right now it's
Yeah,
the way it goes.
Yeah, Tamara, it's 100% like an. I mean, it really is an estate sale model. I mean, except you're just selling people stuff. I mean, it could be a reseller. It could be. It's not always a reseller. You could be selling off personal collections or estates or whatever. I mean, that's the one thing that people discount is the variety of things you can do with these platforms. I applaud people like Corey who look at something and go, let's do this a little different. Let's take advantage of what I want to do. He probably likes to travel. He likes meeting new people, and so he's designed a business model that allows him to never not want for inventory. To see large parts of the country, go in and work hard a few days, and then pretty cool. I think that and then look at these other guys who are like, how do I get the most? These storage unit guys, I've got a buyer for the washers, the dryers, the mattresses, the furniture, but what's the weakness of these storage auctions? It's where Dusty used to. He had a guy who he'd buy all the miscellaneous stuff from because he couldn't get rid of a lot of this stuff. And so Dusty would provide him a service in order to, it helped both of them. And so Whatnot's the same way. Now these guys have an ability, if they will ship, to sell a lot of stuff in these storage units they didn't have an audience for. Tamara, House of Coop is another, if you want to watch another good one. They've done a nice job building up a community. Her and her husband They're fun to watch. They keep it entertaining. They run a lot of stuff fast. I mean, there's not a lot of dead time. Um, they're very welcoming for new buyers, and it's House of Coop does a nice job.
What did you
Sorry, we're having
do?
a fight over here.
This time he was gone for like 7 minutes.
Oh, oh, oh.
Uh,
Knock his block off.
I'll look. Where did you send it, David?
all right, y'all got 10 minutes. Anything else y'all want to discuss in 10 minutes? Before I have to get to work listening, because I have 4 VCRs. I gotta go. I gotta get done today.
I am not your father.
Oh, I got it.
Y'all see this, right?
No, I didn't get it on Facebook.
Harlan sits here and says, "I don't know why he keeps coming in here." As Harlan plays with him every time he comes in here.
If you can't get me on Facebook, David, go to SLIKTOYS at Gmail. Slicktoys at
Go
Gmail.
get
No
Robin.
C.
Go get
SLIK. No C. Slicktoys at Gmail. Wait, now I got something. Maybe that worked.
Doug, Thursday, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. Joni gets done about 2:00. She normally picks up groceries, a few things on the way home, so
I sent it to you, Dave.
it'll be 4:00 tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. I know you're out there you're on communist time, so you have to convert from communist time to Central. Yeah, so 2 people that are selling on Whatnot. One of them said the secret is to become friends with a lot of scrapers because the stuff he sells on the 2 shows. And then Jennifer met some contacts with somebody who's got a couple storage units. Folks, you just got to ask people what they got. It's if you're in, like I get Chris had to go somewhere, but he lived. If I lived 5 minutes from Pickens, unless it rained, there wouldn't be a day. Or wasn't Wednesday, I wasn't there.
No, I would. My sister lives right there, and I'm like, yeah.
They would all know. They would all know the beer to picker.
I did good in Pickens when I went down last time, and I was late. I mean, we didn't get there till like 9 in the morning because I had to drive from Morganton, North Carolina, to get there. But I still did well.
Do you think car prices will go up next year? They go up every year, don't they?
It's probably talking about the tariffs. I think they'll have all that fixed before.
Mercedes-Benz announced yesterday that there was no price increases for 2025.
I think just like everything else, everything. Will
And what of the foreign cars? What does Mercedes do? This 36% of their cars are assembled and made where?
I don't know.
Do you know where, Harlan?
Who?
In
Where
the
does
United States of America.
Where does Mercedes assemble and make 33% all their SUVs?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
It's actually 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes down the interstate, but that is a big advantage they have over a lot of other foreign manufacturers. Honda and Toyota both assemble and make quite a few here, and so that's the negotiator for price.
Oh, Vance, Alabama.
It's all in favor of it just being Tuscaloosa. You got outvoted.
I'm going with Vance. Yes, between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, right there. It's a big plant. There's a lot of car stuff made in Alabama. A lot in Huntsville.
Marcia, Miss Lawyer Marcia, you are incorrect. It is in the Vance area, but I lived in Tuscaloosa when they built that plant. Tuscaloosa annexed that area. It is actually in Tuscaloosa City. It's in the city of Tuscaloosa. It was annexed into the city. I verified that on Google. I thought the city of Tuscaloosa there was some deal where they got taxing stuff out of it. So it's technically Tuscaloosa. But and then Alabama builds a lot of cars. There's a Honda plant, and there's Toyota here, Mazda here. Hyundai is in Montgomery.
Hyundai. The hell's that?
They when I lived there were a lot of Mercedes that were driven, but I don't know if they still drive those things. And there's Nissan in Tennessee as well. There's a Nissan plant in Winchester, Tennessee. It's about 40 minutes from here.
They don't make cars here. They used to make Corvette, fiberglass Corvette parts, the body parts, but I don't know if they still do that.
Indiana does the Siennas. Kent, that was actually in Tennessee.
Was that Spring Hill, Tennessee? Where that
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, Spring Hill, Tennessee was where you're 100% correct. That's what, about 40 miles south of Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Primo is at noon Central, 1 Eastern. I think that's what that is. I'll be dealing with VCRs. I'll be listening. I was too distracted on Monday, and when Lag and I decided that they were going to read all the chat, so Lag and I we had them go all the way to like 3:00. We kept the chat going pretty good.
Whoever IB Mom 41 is on Whatnot, thank you for the follow. And Lenny K and Flip It Good.
Primo on
999
Whatnot, you say?
No, they're talking about doing Whatnot. They have a lot of cool stuff that would do well on Whatnot. They do not do Whatnot yet, but they're talking about. I think it's something that you've got to explore if you've got a lot of inventory and want to start moving a lot of stuff. It's definitely an option.
Who's the guy that goes and travels, you say, to different places?
Corey Manx, KORYMANX. Corey Manx. He should be. He's usually one of the promoted shows. Popular shows.
Okay, here we go. This was option 51, right here.
What's up,
Option
buddy?
51.
You gonna do my bubble?
Are you guys
Is
ready?
he back again?
He's back. He's popping my bubble wrap. He's
I've heard
stalking.
Corey Manx is a cool cat.
These are brand new premier designs.
I think he pronounces it Mannix.
Own one for $20. We're on 10 seconds, sudden death.
Timothy, there is the local auction. There are certain items that sell well up there, but man, it's like a science experiment. We take a lot of stuff up. There's lots of stuff we know we buy because
Here, take it to Mimi.
a lot of stuff you buy because you only got a couple dollars in it,
Take
or
it
you
to
find
Mimi.
it on the side of the road and you go, you know what? I wonder what that'll do at Van Massey. I have that thought a lot when I'm looking at inventory. I wonder what that'll do at Van Massey. Anissa, I agree. With James and Bridget, Spam and Primo, they would slaughter. I think they would be very well. Their personalities would carry a lot on Whatnot, and just the sheer stuff he has sold and the cool stuff that he likes to buy and sell. All right, this is y'all's 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Todd working while we're.
Anybody who has any whatnot links, throw them up here.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna pack this crap but me.
Yeah,
That's
Timothy, tools do very well up there. Yeah, a lot of glassware does really well. I mean, there's people that sell Amazon pallet stuff up there. Most anything they've done. The Van Massey auction up there, they have done a good job. Remember, it's what 10 years old, Harlan, 12 years old. They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And so they've built up a customer base. It's a huge customer base. So they get quite a few eyes every week on the items. And no worry,
How did they get a
JT.
little skeleton guy?
All right, I'm gonna hit the out button. I'm gonna hit the out button. Y'all hit the like button on the way out. The thumbs up. We will see you. Harlan's reselling or whatnot.
I don't sell, but there you go.
Yeah, all I can say is this, Harlan. If you don't want to try, never ever say, honey, I think we should try whatnot, because Marcia will make sure you try.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.